We know Viking is not the most passive player. And if they can really slow him down, I feel like that's their win condition. They have to slow down Viking. And even Volt to an extent, because Volt plays a pretty aggressive Vader. We're already starting. It looks like we're taking it out to the city.
They're probably going to take out droids, I'm going to guess. I could be wrong, but that's typically what they like to do. But it doesn't look like they've started doing that yet.
Okay. Yeah, I expect this to start a bit slow first. As every match does, though. A little filling out each other. Throwing of the sabers. We have a Volt making some aggressive plays, but...
Yeah, they're going to try to get... They want them to chase, if they can. If they want the villains to get the villains chasing. And put themselves in bad spots.
I feel like another big thing is... so this is an elimination match, and this is not the losers bracket finals, but this leads into the finals. The winner of this seeds into the losers bracket finals. So this is ultimately kind of a semi-final in the losers bracket. And you know, the tournament pressure could be there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like when you know that like you get your one shot basically, and if you miss, you're out, then definitely will affect people's composure.
Yeah, in a really bad spot. Yeah.
So here's where Lack needs to probably bail. And then A-Hole probably needs to spawn corner. He can. Oh, he couldn't get out.
Gets caught. Actually, sorry, with the 2-0 lead for the villains. And it seems like to me, like, A-Hole's making mistakes he really shouldn't be making.
Well, and I really think, so like in their last match, the last one I was able to see against Sketch and William, I felt like A-Hole played an okay game, but it wasn't a very clean game. That's gonna he's gonna have to play cleaner this time if they're gonna want to win.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like he's already doing things where he's missing jumps. He's like not being very fluid in his movement, and it's just it's gonna show, and they're gonna exploit that. But 0-3 right now, and you know, by no means an over game. Like still come back from that. It's only 3 kills.
Yeah, it's very early.
You're also on heroes, so. I think an interesting thing would be, even when they switch to villains, I believe they'll play passive. I don't think they'll be the ones aggressive.
I think it's just one of those things that if they know that the other team wants to play at the faster tempo, they're going to play at the slower tempo. It just makes sense to not give your opponents what they want. You know, it's the reason that people playing, you know, when you're heroes, you know, in the courtyard or anything else, you're trying to take away the advantages of the other team as much as you can, or at least mitigate it.
A lot of running going on here, a lot of chasing. I would say quite a bit more than we're used to seeing.
You know, a lot of this, like, you know, like very active but passive play is a good way to, when he tumbles his own teammate there, you gotta be careful on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It makes, when you do decide to like take a chance, it makes it very much a bigger deal. I feel like people don't expect it as much because it's kind of like when you you know, play slow, and then all of a sudden rush. Like that's one of those things you kind of, it's like throwing a changeup in baseball, and you get them to swing. That's what I feel like we're going to see from some Lack and A-Hole. They're going to play slow most of the time, but then every once in a while they're going to try to force the issue. I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah, I didn't quite see how, but it seemed like Viking should have had the kill on the Lack. So I switched over to see the hero. It looked like they were going to trade. Luke was going to kill Vader, and Viking was going to kill Lack. But then somehow another push comes out, and Lack ends up killing Viking and Vader. So I'm not really sure what happened there because I had switched POVs, but it ends up being a 2-0 for the heroes and makes it 2-3.
Yeah, it's a every kill you can turn around like that, you know, is 2 points because you're taking one from them and giving one to you. So it's a big play.
We've got to pause from the hero side.
I think A-Hole pausing, or at least he was the one who typed over the top. Yeah, this is kind of what I thought this would be. It's going to be, I think that A-Hole and Lack are going to make them work for it. And it's just going to be, can the villains, at least on this side, keep their composure and not give up a bunch of easy ones, trying to chase them down.
Lack having his fatherly duties. Here's the Netflix pause for his children, it would seem. Had to go fix that. So everybody should be ready, I think, yeah. We're all saber throwing. 2-3 is still the score, and honestly, it's like even if you go 2 for every 3 kills the villains go, that's still a 20-30 score line, and it's not really something you can complain about. It's 20 is like that golden number for heroes.
You'd probably take that.
But as I say that, Lack gets himself into a bad spot. Volt gets a aerial attack. Kinda scrappy though. It felt like that should have been a pretty clean 2-0, but
yeah, I felt like whenever he should have taken care of the hero up top first, but I don't know what happened on that exactly. They ended up getting the 2 anyway.
Yeah, but definitely not how it should have gone. It's like small things like that. It's like that might, maybe it's not the deal breaker now, but little things like that might just affect your confidence throughout the match.
Well, and they add
making
up.
Small mistakes here and there.
They add up. Any points you give them, and they add up. And it's just, a lot of the game, and especially in like an elimination game or a game that you're taking very seriously, is a lot about, as much about not making mistakes as it is about making good plays.
Pretty scrappy fight, but Viking gets the traditional Viking aerial. Just pops everybody, including his teammate.
Yeah, the team damage off lets him be, even more aggressive because he's not even worried about that part.
Yeah, I would say in a case like that, you wouldn't mind killing your teammate anyway.
No, probably not. It's probably not a big deal, especially with the Vader who's going to survive.
But yeah, it definitely lets you play a lot more aggressive with, I guess, less care. Volt doing a good job of just staying alive here. Gets a tumble onto the loop. I think they do clean up that kill. So Volt,
yeah, it was a good block by Viking.
That kill.
Because Lack, the only way they were going to get out of there is if they somehow were able to push Viking and tumble him, because Volt was in a bad spot on the ground. But Viking held his block and was able to then saber throw. So
score is 2-8. Villains are leading, and that's that's kind of the tempo you want. You want to keep building that lead on villains. Viking making a very committed play here, but it's not really get punished for it. He also has Volt there, so push Volt away. The Volt has no way to save him there, and now they should look to 2v1 the Vader.
Yeah, if they can turn 2 here, that would be really good, but it's tough against the Vader. And so they both went, as they should. If they're going to go, they got to both commit. But my senses are telling me that Viking's in, and he's going to be there in just like a second. That's when you need to bail.
They actually end up pulling out a kill. Viking's here, but he's not there quite in time to actually save his teammate.
They got the split spawn right now.
He has some tumble.
He's going to have to come down and try to get the save, but he can't get to
he's just not there in time.
So if you're A-Hole now, both the villains are in. You gotta get out of there.
And yeah, knowing that to me this seems. Oh, he actually pulls out a kill. Should try to. Oh, Lack's in actually. So now, yeah, Volt's just gonna run away. Volt's very good about just staying alive when Viking is not in.
Yeah, well, I feel like whenever it was 2-on-1, Volt needed to be closer to Viking there. He that shouldn't happen like that, where you don't have a play on your teammate after with the 2-on-1. But he did well to get out once it did happen. But I felt like he should have been closer, at least in a safe position of some sort.
Doesn't get the one-hit aerial off, and
I'm not sure if he's just worried about the Vader or why he didn't go for it.
Vikings tumbled. They get the saber throw off on Viking. Now this is a really bad spot for the Vader, but they just let him float away.
They're gonna. It looks like they're okay with jumping at Volt. They've decided that that's something they want to do, where they both jump at him.
Volt
Which
has
is
made a
not.
fair share of blunders when they both jump up. Like he's done I think at least twice or 3 times now where he's tried to dash attack one of them and just missed.
So here's where Lack's gonna have to play this right. I feel like there you go.
Those
So
villains are pushed.
You have to do that
This is
second
free.
push because otherwise the Vader's gonna. Oh, but Viking got up. That's some. I don't know about
Viking
that.
didn't tumble.
That's really unlucky. Really unlucky. Because he came untumbled.
Black
Because he
tumbles,
was
but
tumbled,
Viking
right?
didn't.
Yeah.
So, it was always like one person wasn't tumbled. The Vader wasn't tumbled, but the Maul was. So they pushed again, and then the Maul didn't tumble, and then the Vader did. And
I didn't have a problem with the way Lack went about that. I felt like that was probably the move. It's just unfortunate the way it played out because Viking became untumbled. If had he not, it would have been clean. But things like that happen.
A-Hole's probably dead here. Oh, maybe not. Lack actually does a good job picking up Viking. Volt should be dead here. Oh, that's a great aerial.
There you go.
A-Hole saves him.
Yeah. Wow, and he gets the quick spawn in. Unfortunate. Gave him 2.
So I believe that's 8-13 now. Yeah, that's 8-13. But honestly, that's still not a terrible scoreline. That's only a 5-point deficit. That calls for a 30-25, and it's pretty good on heroes.
Yeah, if they can maintain serve.
Volt was not
this game
paying
has been
attention.
a lot more, I feel like, Viking and Volt's tempo, like the one they would want to play, than it has been A-Hole and Lack. We'll see if it continues to be that way.
The reason we say that having a losing score on the hero side is actually a good thing, well, technically it's never a good thing in the bigger picture. You don't want to lose a side.
Yeah, if you can 30-0 them while you're on heroes, that'd be great. Go ahead and do that. But
yeah, but it's the fact that the villains is the clearly dominant side. You're kind of expected to not, like, the heroes is the harder side.
With losing that side, if that's what it comes to, especially like if it's a 29-30 or something like that. That's, you know, you're fine with that because you're under the assumption that you're going to win your villains because you have the choker. So it's almost like playing with a handicap, like you because you're assuming that you're going to get, you know, plus that many kills on the next side.
That was a pretty good patient play by Volt, just kind of letting A-Hole do his swinging and waiting for the right time to combo him and just
go get out of there.
It's 9-15.
Surprised Volt didn't rush down there to make him choose faster, but
A-Hole get solo killed by Viking, and I think that's one thing that I mentioned, that you can see every time they kind of get into either a 1v1 or like something where it's really just almost a no force type situation, they don't seem to come out on those. They usually seem to win when somebody gets a save on another, and then they usually clean up the second. Yeah,
they're not going to just trade an R1 swing is probably going to win. I feel like you said, their biggest thing is, you know, if you know, Lack outplaying the second push after somebody's down, or A-Hole making a play one-on-one just up front, like you know, a push or something here or there. But when it comes down to just swinging, they seem to not win those. I would agree. I think they need to change this tempo though if they can.
It was a great aggressive play by Volt, but even better play by A-Hole to actually save his teammate and pull out a double kill.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of having the Luke in that position, because you can do the one hit push right after. You know, it took him no time to do it all.
The fact that there's no delay at the end of your combo to just push again.
Yep.
Makes him really versatile.
You know, it just makes those kinds of kills much cleaner than they might otherwise be. So it looks like everybody's in now. They're playing on the platform again.
11-17. Black in a really bad spot. Yeah, he's dead here. A-Hole's tumbled, and he gets the aerial.
And so the same way that you noticed whenever Lack earlier tried to push Viking in a similar spot and Viking blocked it, A-Hole did not in that situation. They ended up getting 2 out of it.
Yeah.
With the roles reversed.
The villains really, they noticed that they spawned corner and they're already right on them. They're definitely paying attention and not trying to give them that space that they want.
No, you don't want them to catch their breath, because I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. They're trying to get back in their groove.
Really great play by Lack to actually get some damage off. Surprised he doesn't get the kill. Looks like he gave him a full combo, but regardless, Viking should be very low on HP. And actually a really great play by Viking even. Or Volt, not Viking, my bad.
Yeah, it was a good choke on the side. I think Lack got stuck because it wasn't immediate. I would have felt like if you could have probably sprinted out of that one if you'd been ready for it, but it was I think he got stuck on the side of the bubble and he couldn't.
So villains are kind of now, it's 11 to 21. They're kind of pushing out of that zone of where it's like, you might want to start to worry about how your side's looking on the heroes.
Yeah, they definitely need to pick up some more kills here. But
A-hole tumbled. Assume, yeah, Volt picks that up.
They're playing separated so often. It's really hurt. They'll like where they've got one up and the other one's still spawning in.
You can really tell that Black and A-hole are trying to slow the tempo, but I mean, Volt and Viking just aren't. And that's just, I don't even know what that was. That's just like a bad. He wasn't even near Lack either. Like, unlucky tumble there, but I mean, he would have tumbled anyway.
He was done. You know, it's easier said than done to control the tempo of a game. Especially, you know, villains can a lot of times dictate tempo, especially if you play the Vader. If you want to play it fast, you can a lot of times dictate the tempo because of how much ground you can cover. But yeah, they've definitely controlled it, and you can see that it's it's been working.
Yeah, it's 11 to 24 now. It's definitely one of those. You can tell Black and A-hole are. It's definitely not how they wanted the half to go, and given how the first half of this half had gone, a lot closer. This should be a free kill. Oh no, Volt.
He landed the aerial. I'm not sure I would have tried to aerial there.
I don't think he meant to aerial, honestly. It was one of those things where it's like you went just a little bit too high and then you just got that fall at the last second.
Yeah.
Quick spawns from villains, and the hero got in as well. 13 to 25. Oh my, that was a great backslash, and then doesn't help that Viking kind of wrecks his teammate. But Black will trade 1 for 1, but you know, at this point, when they're already so close to winning half, you don't really want to be trading 1 for 1.
You can't give them anything. Good play by Volt.
14 you know, to 27.
The Lack died. Kills. That's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, they're just not giving any room to them. They're not letting them play that passive game that they want. Though I think they are worried about Lack having a behind spawn. It seems like they opted to kind of just let A-hole go there and check behind them.
Yeah, I think they're just making sure they can get them both on their map.
Saved by Lack, but A-hole's still not in a very good spot. He is saved. Viking's still picking up the kill. Lack now in a really bad spot. Oh, Volt chokes his teammate, so Lack might have a chance to actually get out here. He's playing line of sight very well. A-hole's now in, so looks like the fight should reset here.
They need to group up or something. I feel like they're still kind of scattered. See, and that was Volt. He should have saber thrown from the beginning because he knew he was tumbled. He reacted.
I was surprised Volt didn't do that. Maybe he felt it was too risky because of how close that A-hole was, but that's half. That's 14 to 30. I'm gonna log into Adams. I'm gonna ask them to reset. So 14 to 30.
a dominating side from the. When I was disappointed when they played Fierce and Berserk, the Volt and Viking. That was just like I didn't feel like they played their best game in that one. I felt like they were able to control the tempo much better in this one.
Yeah, it was pretty neck and neck until about 11 kills on each side, and then it just villains
Kind of
really
fell
mowed
apart.
the momentum. Like they just kept on going.
Yeah.
But now, Black and A-Hole have a very big task at hand.
Yeah, it's a tall order. You're gonna have to. They're gonna have to pull out all the stops. I'm not sure the best way for them to go about this. I don't know. What are you thinking if you're the villains? Like, what do you against these guys?
I think the interesting thing is I don't think at any time in either of their careers, Lack and A-Hole, were they ever really a choker type player. Maybe A-Hole was a little bit, but A-Hole's still kind of known more for his, conquest infantry. He's still, I guess, relatively new in the scope of Jedi. Not that he's a bad player. The limited experience only lets you learn so much. Just some things you have to just experience over time.
Yeah.
But as we say that, Volk gets the opening kill on the A-Hole, and I don't know. Like I said, because I think they're mechanically just not as good players. I don't think playing aggressive into them is really the way that they win. Although as I say that, Lack does get a kill, but he does traded. But I still think that them playing okay. I don't know. That was kind of BM to just rush at the choker like that, but maybe he wasn't expecting A-Hole to, I don't know, hold the choke or something. But
yeah,
I still
I'm
think
not sure. I
passive
think
play is
he
better for.
got a little overzealous on that one.
Does A-Hole know he's behind him? Yeah, he should. Okay. So he has a great choke on a Volt. I don't think Volt dies here, but that was. I don't know what Viking was doing there. That's not how you save your teammate.
Yeah.
It's not like team damage has been on and he expected to kill him, but I don't know what Viking was doing there. They should pick up Viking here, although Volt is in now. Yeah, they do pick up Viking.
Sorry, I disconnected for a second. I'm back. What's the score?
Score is 4-2. Black and A-Hole are leading this half.
Okay.
Viking looks like he picks up a kill on the Black, and yeah, A-Hole's not near to save, and he's in a very bad spot now on the ground.
Yeah, he needs to get up if he can, but
yeah,
knowing
Viking jumped behind him.
Yeah, he was just waiting for him to choose.
Yeah.
I think also A-Hole was anticipating him to push, and so that he was going to be able to jump away. But whenever Viking decided just to jump onto the building behind him, it kind of threw him off.
Black now went alone. He's pushing while alone. A little uncharacteristic of Black or of anybody really in a 1v2. Why would you?
Yeah, I think he was hoping he could get a cheap one because the heroes were sitting at the bottom of their spawn looking like they were not paying attention, but it didn't amount to anything. It doesn't appear.
Great choke by A-Hole, actually, and yeah, Lack is going to pick this up too, so maybe the aggression could work in their favor for a bit because it could catch Volt and Viking off guard.
Yeah, I mean, and let's just I want to say this because just because you're the most mechanically gifted player, it doesn't mean that you can automatically just rush everybody and killing everybody, and vice versa. Just because you may not be the top one as far as mechanics doesn't mean you can't play aggressive. You can do it both ways. You just have to maneuver yourself right where you're picking up your advantages when you can.
Yeah, and it's not that Lack and A-Hole can't play aggressive. I would honestly say that A-Hole's even more of an aggressive player than he is a passive player. But I think they really, to exercise that versus somebody like Volt and Viking, it's not the easiest task.
That's definitely the speed they would prefer, and that's why you wouldn't typically want to do that. At least in my opinion. I mean,
it's playing into what they want.
Exactly. Yeah, you just whatever tempo the other team wants to play, I would want to play not at that tempo because I'm confident that whatever one we're at, I would be good enough to be able to handle it. But I want them to not be at their optimal tempo, and I think that's what they tried to do.
So the choker is tumbled here. Viking picks up a kill. Bolt tumbled. Black in a very interesting mash it out with R1 battle. They end up losing 0-2 on that trade. Well, there's no trade actually, they just lose. So heroes are now leading 6-7. And while it's closer, it's not the winning recipe.
No, I really think that it's going to be really tough for them to do it. They really need the heroes just to pretty much tilt and fold and start giving away cheap easy ones.
That's super lag. Yeah, and
it's going to be really hard if they are able to just keep it tight together and go at it. It's going to be really difficult for them to keep them under 14.
Yeah, and I don't believe Volt or Viking are really the ones to tilt either. They, at least, especially not Viking, I don't think. I don't think he's definitely the type at all to ever really tilt. I have pretty limited play with him, but really great aggressive play by him. He doesn't get punished for it at all. See, 2 1v1s going on. Lack beats Volt in this situation. Lack gonna be able to pull out the double kill though. A great strike by Viking to...
Yeah, he puts his
block
up.
Volt should be in though. Oh, he kills Volt still. We're back to a 1-on-1, and I still believe Ahol still has the health advantage as well.
And he's got the choker. You're definitely wanting to push this if you can.
Volt's already back in. He got a quick spawn. That would mean that Lack is in as well. Though Lack didn't spawn close at all.
It looked like Cantina or something.
Both should be fine though. It's tied 8-8. Use of all not being able to block there.
Yeah, he was on that. I feel like it's tough because if you keep backing up and he strikes you, automatically tumble, and you can't block it from that angle. He was in a tough spot.
That was a great block by Ahol.
Yes, he anticipated him hitting a lipstick and then just ended up and blocked it and was able to execute.
Yeah, he really did read Volt there.
It's hard when you try to perform those kinds of ramps, just like right in front of the Vader or right in front of a choker like that. It makes it, unless they're really not paying attention, it makes it relatively easy to counter. At least to the players today, they've just seen it so many times.
Ahol probably dead here. Lack's nowhere near.
But he can't do anything about that. He's gonna have to give that one up. Now it's just about him staying alive until Vol did a good job of closing the distance there and making Lack uncomfortable.
Viking doing a great job of going on top to...
Yeah, he anticipated that's where Lack was going to want to go, so he did an excellent job on that.
So yeah, now it's up to villains to get 20 kills before heroes get 4 more.
It's going to be really tough. I'm not going to say it's over, but it's really getting close.
Ahol's still alive here somehow. It's a little scrappy, but they do end up pulling out the kill. I don't know how much damage Viking ends up taking there, but I don't expect Lack to stay here very long either. And that's great use of the keyboard and mouse. It's to do that 180 in the middle of the dash attack with the OB.
I just feel like for Lack, he shouldn't sit there and eat that dash attack. He probably should just move. I mean, you
Yeah.
can see he does it far enough out that you can see that he's doing that. He probably just needs to move and then get the push after the attack is done.
That was actually a really great aggressive play by both of them. Black keeping him distracted. Meanwhile, the Vader gets the choke off. Oh, but he gets out of the combo. Still dies, unfortunately. And it looks like Volt is end also. I believe this is game. 11 to 15. It felt like Lack had just given up at that point. You know, he was just doing uncharacteristic things, just staying there.
I felt like the villains kind of gave up whenever they were still even there at 7-7. They knew it was going to be really hard. The Viking and Bolt played excellent. I felt like they played their game, and that's what all they needed to do was be able to play their game, and really A-Hole and Lack couldn't do anything about it. So who do they have next? Is it
so Volt and Viking will now play into Ninja and Naga
in
the losers bracket finals, and then
yeah,
the winner of that plays Manny and
styles.
Fierce in the grand finals.
Have Naga and Ninja and Volt and Viking played each other yet?
I believe they have in scrims, like just practice scrims.
Okay, but not in the tournament bracket.
No, not in the tournament bracket.
Okay.
This will be their first time meeting in the tournament.
I got a bad